to behold with your abundant favor, as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Yes, clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motions. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, motion.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Minority Whip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to, I have a motion here that pursuant to Standing Order 198-2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investment and Accounts Committee report on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of receiver of revenue for the financial year ended 30th June 2022. Mr. Speaker, I won't dwell so much on the report because the honorable members have the report on their WhatsApp groups. So I'll just go straight to start with the mandate of the committee. That the committee, under provisions of Article 195 of the Constitution of Kenya and Standing Order 184, is mandated to exercise the powers and privileges bestowed on the County Assembly by the Constitution and relevant statutes, including the power to summon witnesses, examine them on oath, receive evidence, and to request for the and receive papers and documents for the county government and the public. And the guiding principles, Mr. Speaker, in the execution of its mandate, the committee is guided by the core constitution and statutory principle on public finance management, as well as established legislative customs, traditions, practices, and usages. I'll not go through all the principles, Mr. Speaker, but Mr. Speaker, the membership of the committee comprises of the following: Honorable Charles Langat as the chairperson, Honorable Dennis Ngeno, I as the vice chairperson, Honorable Leonard Rotich as the member, Honorable Olivia Kosgei as the member, Honorable Richard Ruto as the member, Honorable Dennis Busienei as the member, Honorable Caroline Chelagat as the member. Mr. Speaker, we had several issues to tackle under the report, and I want to assure you that all the members appended their signatures on the report to affirm the approval and its accuracy and authenticity of the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to go straight to the issues raised on the report, Mr. Speaker. The first issue, Mr. Speaker, was on unreconciled transfers to revenue accounts. The statement of the revenue and transfer reflect total transfer to revenue account of Kenya shillings 201,510,561. However, the County Revenue Fund Bank statements provided for audit reflects an amount of 368,308,569, resulting to unreconciled variance of 166,798,8 shillings. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of transfers to revenue account amount to 201,510,561 could not be confirmed. Mr. Speaker, I will not dwell so much on the issue because during our interaction with the Auditor General, Mr. Speaker, the issue was marked as resolved. So I'll go to the next issue, Mr. Speaker, which is on the arrears of revenue. During this year, during the year under review, the property register, that's land register, reflect arrears in property rates amounting to 343, 141, 802, resulting to increase of land rent arrears by 55,256,900, or 25%. The huge increase is an indication of inadequate enforcement mechanism on the revenue collection, particularly on land. Mr. Speaker, I'll go to the management response on the issue because the issue was marked as unresolved. The CCM Finance and Economic Planning submitted that the property rates and rents included accumulated penalties of 220,503,232 over time, which has seen the rates ballooning to the current amount from the actual arrears of 122,638,570. He further submitted that during the financial year under review, the county government had no revenue administration policy which will have enabled enforcement of revenue collection on this stream of revenue following various futile demand notices. This has, however, been established through Bomet County Revenue Administration Bill, which is currently due for public participation and subsequent passage as an act of the County Assembly. In addition, he submitted that the county government of Bomet was using an outdated rate inherited from the former local authority. However, review of valuation role is ongoing. And the committee observation, Mr. Speaker, is that the management still experience challenges in collecting of property arrears due to lack of revenue administration law, which still a bill. The committee marked the issue as unresolved. And the committee recommendation on the issue, Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that the CCM in charge of finance must put in place practical measures to enhance revenue collection, especially for standing land rates and related revenue streams. The CCM should provide commitment to county assembly within 1 month after adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker, we had only two major issues on the report. That's on the areas of revenue and unreconciled transfers of revenue. Otherwise, the report was qualified opinion. I wish to give Honorable Richard Ruto to second.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and more so to say welcome to that very important seat you are sitting on. And Mr. Speaker, I want to laud the committee on BSc, PIC, Mr. Speaker, for the work they did over the weekend. It has been a long journey, Mr. Speaker, going through the auditor report, and I want to assure this House that the report which has been laid and read by the Vice Chair, PSC, PIC, Mr. Speaker, has been dealt with the Committee on PSC, PIC, and the recommendation which we have forwarded unto this House, Mr. Speaker, I believe this is a genuine recommendation, and this, if it is dealt with by the Department, Mr. Speaker, I believe in future we shall not be having any query as by the auditor, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I second this motion and request this Honorable House to support it, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, the mover of the motion and the seconder. I now wish to propose that pursuant to Standing Order 198, Subsection 2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investments and Accounts Committee report on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of receiver of revenue for the financial year ended 30th June 2022. Members, the floor is open for debate on this motion. Thank you. Honorable Eric Kirui.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I want to first laud the Committee on Public Accounts and Investment Committee for the work well done. I want to quickly raise a few issues around the unreconciled revenue accounts. Honorable Speaker, we all know that a figure of 343,141,802 shillings was recorded as revenue received. However, what has been only been reconciled or transferred is 201, leaving out a whooping 166 million, Honorable Speaker. I would expect the committee, Honorable Speaker, to have given further information to this House how this issue was resolved. Reason being, an amount of Kenya shillings 166 million is equivalent to the amount that we require to build our ECDs, even and fund the education, bursary on education, and the whole development function in the education sector, Honorable Speaker. So when our able Vice Chair on PIC, PSC tells us it was resolved, I would want to hear them tell us how this matter was resolved. A matter that is really very core to us. Part of what raises the issues of pending bills, Honorable Speaker, is this issue, Honorable Speaker. I want to say, I know we're looking at historical issues. This is 2022 accounts. However, it is also good to also follow it up so that coming to this financial year, we do not have the same old stories of unreconciled revenue accounts totaling to hundreds of millions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, so it is imperative for the committee that they explain to this assembly how they were not, the department or the receiver of revenue in the county was not able to reconcile that figure of 166 million. The issue on the land rates, I am yet to see the policy on revenue administration. Maybe it will help further guide. However, having a figure of uncollected land rates of totaling to 343 million, Honorable Speaker, is also a matter that is equivalent, is even more than what we can collect. If we only collected the arrears and failed to collect the revenues this financial year, it is enough to fund our revenue target for this financial year. Honorable Speaker, we are yet to see, this is a report of 2022, end of 2022, that is 2021, 2022, Honorable Speaker. So when we're looking at that, we are still struggling to even get there. Last financial year, we are not even able to collect revenues. So if we do post-mortem of accounts and to this year, in the year 2024, and we're still reconciling that, then it puts us on a path that maybe the PAC, PIC, however much they are doing post-mortem on the accounts, we also need to see action being taken and a more tangible resolve to this matter. So I would like to urge the House not to adopt this report. Honorable Speaker, I stand that I oppose this motion, that we drop this motion and allow the PAC, PIC to go back to the drawing board and give us proper explanation, especially around issues on revenue and also on issues on run rates, because this is what we depend on, Honorable Speaker. I want to urge honorable members, I know we cannot be a conveyor belt every time, that this House is given reports and we say we adopt. Honorable members, I want to request that we reject these reports and give an opportunity to the Committee on PAC, PIC to make it very clear to the executive that they need to make us understand what they're doing on revenues and reconciliation, and also on the issue on run rate. So I oppose the motion, Honorable Speaker, and I want to urge honorable members that we reject this motion so that the PAC, PIC can work well and the executive are made accountable on this. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I oppose the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Chair Budget, and I hope the Vice Chair PAC, PIC has noted the issues raised. You will still have a right of reply. Any other member who wish to contribute? Yes, Honorable Dennis Pushene.
Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of PAC, PIC. According to this report, Mr. Speaker, maybe the mover of the motion did not read the whole content. For the purpose of members who do not have enough time to read this report, but Mr. Speaker, this report we deliberated, I think, properly. And if you can see, Mr. Speaker, all the reports that we have tabled in this Honorable House has not been acted upon the recommendation that the committee has made. And according to the mover of the motion, he has reiterated that as a committee we recommended that this time round, after this Honorable House passed this motion, it will allow the committee to make a follow-up. And if we reject, we are delaying, and justice delayed is justice denied. So, Mr. Speaker, I would urge this Honorable House to adapt, because going back, we have sat and we exhausted what was required. We summoned the CECM to give us the insights of what happened. And mostly, the issue of non-compliance was because they never gave out the receipts and the documents that was required. But, Mr. Speaker, the ones that we said, what the committee said that they have complied and gave the qualified report is because they have tabled. Only that it seems they were lazy because it took them about a year. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge honorable members to give opportunity to the committee so that we have to do it properly and see that what we recommend here is followed to the letter. So I urge honorable members to give us to pass this motion so that we deal with the issue. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Pushine. Any other member wish to contribute?
Point of information.
Yes, what's the point of information? First, who do you wish to inform?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just want to inform this House, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I want to inform this House that what the Vice Chair, Mr. Speaker, has given us, Mr. Speaker, is the right thing. I know our CPA, Eric Kirui, which I normally laud him, Mr. Speaker, for the good work he's doing. He's trying to correct all the messes which has been, which has always been seen in this county, Mr. Speaker. But this is a way. What I want the CPA, Eric, Mr. Speaker, is just first of all to allow the committee, and also to give an input on the report which the Vice Chair has laid. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we need also to come together as a whole House, Mr. Speaker, to discuss on the issues which has always been, which is always a challenge to this county, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to matters collection revenue, Mr. Speaker. When we try to check, there is a lot of leakage when it comes to revenue collection, Mr. Speaker, sir. And it is not a one-man issue, Mr. Speaker, to an extent even of dropping a report which has been dealt with for a long time, Mr. Speaker. And I believe this is the right report to use when it comes to correcting the mess of revenue collection in this county, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to inform these members that when it comes to collection of revenue, it is all of us to sit and discuss with the executive, and if possible, to do that oversight on the same, so that we cannot have the same mess ahead in future, Mr. Speaker. But for the report which has been given, it is the best report, and I believe the only thing which we need from honorable members, Mr. Speaker, is just to give us some more input on the same, so that in future when we shall be coming up with other reports, because we still have another more than 4 reports ahead of us, Mr. Speaker, which we are yet to come to bring it to the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I am telling this House that everything is okay. We have a very smart Vice Chair who is always correct, and I don't think this time around he's cheating us. So let's laud even the Vice Chair, Mr. Speaker, for the well-done job, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Majority Whip, you said you want to inform the House, and you are speaking to an issue on collection of revenue or the collection of property rates. Can you come up clearly?
Mr. Speaker, I believe what I said, Mr. Speaker, is what is in the handset of what the CPA Eric had said, Mr. Speaker. And if I'm out of order, Mr. Speaker, I'm ready also to be corrected, Mr. Speaker, because I just wanted to not to ensure that this House is not misled, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Any other member wish to contribute? Well, before I give the move of...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, what is the point of order?
I know Richard Ruto just insinuated that the House is being misinformed. I want him to come clearly. Is he insinuating that I misinformed this House? I actually responded to the reports and with the notes that I've made down here, according to the report given. However, Honorable Ruto has not even given a point of information. He has given us a statement. I expected you to interject and say, Honorable Richard Ruto, can you take your seat, because he was addressing the House and not giving a point of information. I sometimes want to, we're not misinforming this House. I don't know how the working of the County Public Service Board, Honorable Speaker, but Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Speaker, pardon me. I want to maybe probably understand where we go from here. If you invited the CECM and they've not responded, so where do we go from here? We just adopt the report and just call it a day. I'm just asking. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
So as to put that matter to rest, I want the motion mover to have a right of reply and take note of the issues that were initially raised by Honorable Eric and address them as much as you can.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I earlier said, the report consisted of only two matters. That's an unreconciled transfer to revenue account and the issue of arrears of revenue. On the issue of arrears, we marked it as unresolved. So not adopting the report means you agree with the response of management. And from our observation, we managed, we didn't see any response from the management that was satisfactory. That's why we marked it as unresolved. On the other issue of unreconciled transfers, the issue was about the documentary, and the committee found out that there was an issue with the accounting officer, which did not provide the necessary information during the audit time. So maybe I can still read the response from the management that the CCM in charge of finance submitted that the total amount received under own source revenue is 201,510,561 as reported in the statements of revenue and transfer of the receiver of revenue statements and in audited county revenue statement. Included in the analysis by the auditor is amount from donor funds of Kenya shillings 166,798,008, which is not own source revenue. The schedule indicating the transfer from donor funds and the audited county revenue fund statements was availed for audit verification, and it's marked Annex 1. Mr. Speaker, there was no money lost, and it's all about the presentation of documents during the audit. And the committee observation was that the management provided adequate explanation together with documentary evidence of 201,510,561 is own source revenue, supported by weekly remittance statement attached as evidence. Kenya shillings 166,798,008 relates to conditional grants from donors. the committee marked the matter as resolved because the two were different. There were no money lost to make it 300 I was listening to my learned friend from Kimulat, and he was insinuating that there was money lost along the way. And Mr. Speaker, I have explained very well that there was no money lost on the process. It was all about presentation of the documents. And the committee recommendation, Mr. Speaker, is that the committee recommends that the accounting officer must always ensure that all necessary documentation and information are provided during the audit period. So the two issues, Mr. Speaker, is well responded by the committee, and it's well deliberated on by the committee, Mr. Speaker. So I urge all the members, Mr. Speaker, to pass the report as it is, and all the recommendations that we've provided, Mr. Speaker, will sail through the Senate, and all the executive, Mr. Speaker, will work on the recommendation from the committee. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the mover of the motion. I now put the question that pursuant to Standing Order 198-2, this County Assembly resolves to adopt the County Public Investments and Accounts Committee report on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of receiver of revenue for the financial year ended 30th June 2022. And as many as are of this similar opinion say aye.
Aye.
As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. So members, I would want to only point out that for the matter that was marked and resolved, the committee has an opportunity to follow up on the recommendation that they've put forward, so that we do not have the emergence of the same matter in the subsequent financial years. Members, can we be upstanding for adjournment? So members, there being no other business, this House adjourns to Tuesday, 17th September 2024 at 2:30 p.m.